Hello and welcome to the Blue Tower here in Manchester. This is a Blue Tower production. I am James, your host.
And I am Warren, is co-host for today. And so what are we doing today?
Well, we're doing a double delight, House 2 and House 3. We were going to just do House 2, but we'll get into the details as to why we're doing House 2 and House 3.
Later on. Because it was, oh God, well, there's no words for it really. Well, we're going to get into it. Here we go. So, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, so today we're going to be doing House 2 and House 3. This is the House franchise, which started off in the early 80s. We watched the first House last week. It was okay, but a little bit disjointed.
Well, I think the word is probably all over the place.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I think it was. I mean, it wasn't. Well, you got to think like how the House 2 is nothing to do with House 1.
No.
With any, it's a completely different house as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's different house, different cast. It has no link to the first one, so it's not like the Saw franchise where you have an interconnecting story. It's a completely different storyline, completely, and they just slapped House 2 on.
Well, that's what it is. It's like click and paste, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's basically it. That's click and paste kind of.
It's a bit like American Horror Story.
Like an anthology.
Yeah, it's like an anthology where they depict different themes or whatever. But it's the same sort of thing, universe. I would imagine. But yeah, House 2. I think we just need to get this over with because I was very disappointed in this film. So what's the synopsis of House 2?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I actually found it. In this sequel, a young man inherits a house and invites his friends to move in with him. A series of mysteries and humorous events leads him to his great-grandfather who has been kept alive by a magical crystal skull. The skull is stolen and mayhem ensues. That's what it says. Mayhem ensues. So they I think they just throw every single genre of film within the 80s and crammed it wholly into the film. It's got dinosaurs, cavemen,
time travel. There's barely any horror in this. It's not a horror film.
Well, it's heavy in comedy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very heavy in comedy. It's a bit like Muppets. Muppets does House. So the story is that this guy's parents are killed in the house by this spectre. And then 25 years later, he comes back and where his parents were killed, and through difficult to even describe it, but he finds out that his great grandpa, is buried in a graveyard with a magic skull, and he decides to go and dig him up.
Yeah, just randomly kind of digs him up.
Yeah,
and like has he got a wife as well? He's got a wife, hasn't he?
He's got a girlfriend or a wife. I don't know.
Then his mate like pops up with his girlfriend.
With his girlfriend pops up.
Drink driving.
Yeah, smashes into the wall, which is a recurring joke in this film, and they just start living there. So they dig up his grandfather, who's a zombie. They call him Gramps. and they bring him back and they put him in the cellar, and the skull sits in the living room or something like that. It's there to stop things happening. I can't. It's just there, isn't it?
I think it's there so that Gramps can live basically.
Yeah. So Gramps he had a partner, and he basically tells him that he killed his partner because of this skull, and this skull is keeping him alive. So throughout this movie, I don't even know why
they randomly. Well, basically, the skull is a portal to into other dimensions.
Yeah. So the first dimension is prehistoric. I don't know why.
With dinosaurs.
With dinosaurs. So this prehistoric caveman turns up at the house during a house party, during an 80s house party with all the your 80s tropes. He takes this crystal, runs off into a room. They follow, and they find out that it's a portal to the prehistoric times. And the friend has a semi-automatic rifle.
Just randomly.
Hello. And he gives him a little gun himself. He goes, "Oh, this is yours." Little tiny gun. And they smash open the door, and he fires his gun. And the guy also fires his little pistol.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
And this comes up again in the movie, but later on, and it turns out to be a lighter.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah. It's just,
so it turned from a gun to a light. It's just random stuff like
continuity error.
So whilst in the prehistoric zone, he managed to kill. I mean, the effects on the dinosaurs are pretty good.
I give him that. Yeah.
The brilliant, and then he gets involved with a baby flying dinosaur. I can't remember the names of the dinosaur.
I think I must have nodded off about that. Not in fact, what I did do, I think I must have fast forwarded it a bit. It's like going, what's going on here? Yeah. So I fast forward it, and then all of a sudden they've got a baby,
goofy baby flying dinosaur brings it back.
I was like, it's not this, right? Let's just fast forward it. All I wanted to do is get to where Cliff came in. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah, tease with it now. Yeah, so
that's it.
So we get the prehistoric bit. Dinosaur comes back. There's hijinks. Oh, Bill Maher.
Yes,
he turns up in this movie.
Yes, he does.
Slimy executive, and I'm thinking, what? Why is he put his name to this? Gramps is actually played by Royal Dino, who's a veteran of the Western, but he's in heavy makeup. But yeah, Bill Maher's there.
He plays a radio executive. Where the story sort of like, I thought, well, what's going on? Why? So his girlfriend, the guy who owns a house, his girlfriend is a record producer, and the other woman, she wants to be the next big 80s thing, and she says, I want to be the next Madonna.
Where to quote the film, the Madonna of the 80s, which
Madonna is,
which Madonna was the 80s.
Yeah.
So she's So this is another plot line that just baffles me as well. She just singing in a room, and then this woman, executive music woman, comes in and goes, "Wow, that's great!" And I'm like, "What? She was rubbish." So that's when Bill Maher comes in and signs her up to the next big thing. But that just goes nowhere.
It just literally goes nowhere. Yeah. And then the two characters literally disappear from the movie. I was like, it was the Halloween party, and then
the music executive thinks that our main guy's having an affair, and Bill Maher obviously has got a thing for her and tells her. And they all just run out the house and drive off, never be seen again. So that just leaves our two main guys prattling around in the house with a dinosaur. And then they go back to the Aztec times. I'm right in saying that, aren't I?
Well, this is when Cliff turns up from Cheers.
Yeah. So the Aztec. So they get the crystal skull back, and then the Aztecs turn up and take the skull and take it with them, and then Cliff.
Oh right, yeah. I must have fast forwarded that bit as well.
So Cliff. Yeah. So Cliff Claydon, not Cliff. Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff Clayton, isn't it?
Cliff Claydon from Cheers.
Yeah. Which
is the only link back to the first one. So this is like a universe Cheers going on. And I was a bit disappointed that didn't continue with that into the third film, because I would have loved for Sam to turn up in that one. So Cliff turns up to repair the electricity in the house, the wiring, and he turns out to be an adventurer.
Yeah.
With a sword.
With a sword. Yeah. So
he discovers the portal, doesn't he? He discovers the portal to go back to the Aztecs to get the skull back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they find the Aztecs about to sacrifice a woman.
A virgin, yeah.
Yeah. So they then rescue the virgin, and Cliff sword fights his way out, and they end up back in the house. And Cliff then just says, "Right, well, thanks, boys. Great party." I don't know what party he's talking about.
Yeah, because like that was really confusing, because he was left in the portal, then the two guys come out, and then all of a sudden he's there in the front living room. And it's like, wow, how did he get there?
I think it's suggesting that it's some sort of mythical guy.
He's seen it all before, all these portals nonsense.
Yeah. Every time I saw the crystal, though, I kept thinking of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
That's what I thought. Maybe George Lucas saw this.
Yeah.
I thought, I'm having that idea.
Yeah. So then they bring that so now they've got the Aztec woman, and they've got this baby dinosaur in the house. Now so finally, after all this stuff that's going on, the person who killed his parents finally turns up at the end of the film. Literally
about 15 minutes to go.
So I don't know why he's not turned up before. So he wants this crystal, and he blames great Gramps for stealing it from him. So this ghost creature shoots Gramps in the stomach, who, to be fair, was the most annoying person in this film. So he shoots him, but as a zombie. So how can he die? It's a bit of an odd one. And the police are outside, surround it, and they can hear all this gunfire. Oh, but they go back to the cowboy land, don't they? That's the other bit. They go into the cowboy land.
Yeah, they randomly go there.
Yeah, and his friend and the Aztec woman are about to be hung. So they're strung up by the necks.
Yeah,
and kind of leaves them there, and he goes off and goes back into the house, and the cowboy is a cow. Why is he a cowboy? Even though he was because Gramps was a cowboy.
Yeah, Gramps was a cowboy. Yeah.
So he's been chased around by this ghost, and the police surround it, and they can hear all this shooting going on, and our main guy, I can't remember his fucking name here. What's the guy's name?
The guy who owns the house.
Yeah, Jesse. That's it.
Yeah.
So Jesse.
Was he named after Gramps? That was it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
It's named after his Gramps, and he gets Gramps' gun, and he has a gunfight with the ghost guy, and he starts a gunfight with the police. The police like shooting through the windows and everything. In fact, the main sheriff guy, I don't know. He was in Killer Clowns.
Was he?
Yeah, he was the sheriff.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a sheriff. I'm sure it's him. I recognise his voice.
Oh right, okay. No, I didn't realise that.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, it was him. I'm sure of it. Hang on. It might not be. I'm just gonna look. Deputy Slim. It sounded like him anyway. I'm sure it was.
Don't know.
I'm sure it was. Why does it not give the?
Well, he probably.
There we go. Sheriff Gregory. Stand by.
We're having a double check. Just see his credits on the IMDb database. Yeah.
He's in quite a bit. Known for. I'm sure he was in that.
Let me just check this opportunity to say if you like this podcast, you can go and listen to me on my own podcast called the Chef One Pandemic, and you can listen to that on the Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And you can find me on Instagram on Mr. Beard MCR on both Instagram and on Twitter. If you like, and I also do an after show podcast for this podcast called the film podcast, but got a bit of music in it. You can only get that on Spotify if you like, and you got to have a Spotify premium account to actually listen to the music. I do like 80s music. The year these movies came out, basically.
No, I don't. No,
he's back.
I can't see it anywhere, but he's been in a lot. He just reminded me of that guy. So he ends up shooting Jesse shoots this ghost cowboy, evil guy in the head, blows his head off. He goes back to his Gramps, and Gramps is in bed and he's dying, even though he's a zombie. And Gramps goes, I've got to go. I gotta go. But the skull will give you whatever you want in your life. I'm thinking, all right, okay, what's going to be going on here then? And then it cuts, and then it cuts to Jesse over a grave, over a dug graveyard, whatever it is. It's not even a graveyard. It's like a burial next to a road. But it's a Western time.
It's like when they buried Captain Kirk.
Yeah. So he's got some stones over it, and he's got his cowboy hat on, and then it cuts, and then you can see a carriage, and it's got his mate who was, and the Aztec woman who we last saw being strung up, and they're in the cowboy time.
Yeah.
And they just ride off in the sunset, which I was like, right, so are they back in time now? Obviously, it's a portal.
Yeah, I had to read into this because, they basically get one of the portals and go back to the Western time. Yeah, and go off into go into.
Don't forget, they also have the prehistoric bird as well.
Oh right, yeah, they have that. Yeah, so they are back in. So they must be back in time then. Must be an alternative universe or something.
Cowboy time.
It's just cowboy time.
So you've got Aztec woman and prehistoric bird.
And then they go, and then you think, well, that must be set up for the next installment of House.
No.
No, it's completely. It goes in a completely different direction. It goes way, 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 way over.
So, is this film worth watching?
No.
No.
I mean, you can fast forward to when Cliff Barnes comes in.
Yeah, that's the only time. That's Cliff. You can just imagine Cliff, just him and Norm from the first one. I bet Norm went back to Cheers Bar and told Cliff about his adventures, and he thought, I'll have a bit of that. So he decided to do this for a bit. But this is again peak Cheers time, so high in demand. Yeah, it was just awful again. I thought the first one wasn't too good, but this one was just dross.
Garbage. Yeah. Now the critics gave it 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. So is it higher or lower for the audience score?
bet kids like this. Higher.
You are correct. It got 42% from the audience score. User ratings out of 8,407. The critics gave a total count of 13. Gave it 8%. So no wonder it kind of wasn't really great and stuff and what have you. The next favourite one is when was it released in streaming form? When was it released in streaming form?
2017.
Ooh, close, but no cigar. It was January 14th, 2015. Box office gross in the US was £6.8 million. It's PG-13. It's PG-13. So I think it was costing. I think it cost. How much was it now? I think it cost about $1 million to make. It's a budget of $3 million, and the box office in total was $10 million. So that was total. So basically, if you make a film $3 million, you get an average of about $10 million box office currently. Yeah, if you want to.
Well, they say with film budgets, they say so if a film is made for 50 million or whatever, then you've got to double it for the adverts. Promoting it.
Yeah, they spent about 20 million or something on it.
So this is what they say. You got to double the budget for the promotional. So like I don't know. So what did like Avengers spent like 400 million, didn't they? And then they come back, it made £1 billion, but in reality, they got to promote it, so that's another 400 million. So in reality, it didn't actually make £1 billion. That's a bit of tidbit for you there. A little bit tidbit for you.
I'll have a look, shall we? Here we go. So Avengers Endgame, the budget of it, the budget was £356 million. Yeah. That's the budget.
So double that for promotion stuff like that. So you're talking what? So 700 million in effect. So how much did it take at the box office?
2.7 billion.
Wow. Is that internationally?
Well, yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
Not domestically.
No, that would be international. So that is So internationally. Yeah. So. Yeah. So the budget, so so it's budget of 356 million, and then they get a box office of 2.7 billion, 7 billion worldwide. So then, so now we're on to house number 3.
So after seeing the second one,
also known as the horror show.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, what it was. They were going originally for the House 3, but then they thought, well, we could get another franchise out of this. So they renamed it the Horror Show, so they could do another franchise. So they wanted to scrap House 3 altogether and then do the Horror Show. So I think in America, what? In America, it was. I think House 3, the Horror Show. I'm thinking, but yeah, they changed the title, so they wanted an entire brand new franchise, like a Nightmare on Elm Street. So they're basically called the Horror Show in America.
So after watching the horror of House 2, I went on to House 3, and I thought I'll have a look at the trailer. And some of these movies, a lot of these movies that we're reviewing don't have proper trailers. They have like scenes to pique your interest. So I looked at House 3, and I looked at that and I thought, oh, this actually looks kind of interesting, more horror. And you know what? Actually, really, really enjoyed this one. And after the terrible House 2. This was right up our street, as it were.
Yeah.
In our wheelhouse.
Yeah, I thought it was better. I mean,
Better, but Christ Almighty, it's like night and day with this.
better. I thought it was better.
Yeah.
Well, you are right. It is particularly night and day with this one. This is definitely more horror.
Yeah. What's this synopsis of this?
Well, it hasn't actually got one. No, it's not. I can't find one anywhere. House 3. Well, here we go. So this is it. The Detective McCarthy finally catches meat cleaver Max, a serial killer who promised revenge during his execution. A psychological doctor tells the detective that the only hope of stopping Max for good is to destroy his spirits. A little bit garbled, but yeah, that was about it.
Yeah, so it tells a story. Well, first of all, it stars Lance
Bishop.
What? No, isn't he called Lance?
No, the aliens.
Lance Henriksen. Yeah, so it's Bishop.
Isn't it Bishop from Aliens?
Yeah, so it's Bishop from Alien. Now the actor always looks a bit weird to me. He's very intense. It's something about his eyes or something like that. But this was when was this?
1987.
So he was in Aliens, which was 1986. So when was this?
This came out in 1989.
So it was after Aliens then.
So
Aliens was 1986. This came out in 1989. Is that right? So Aliens were 1986.
1986. Aliens came out in 1986.
And this came out in 1989.
1989.
Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. So this is peak. It's probably. I mean, Aliens was his peak. No doubt. He has been in a few other bits and bobs, but nothing of significant. No, he was in Alien vs Predator. I can't remember that. 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he plays a detective, Lance, who catches a serial killer, Max, who's supposed to have killed over 110 people with a meat cleaver. Yeah, so that's his MO. He's played by a guy called Brian James. He was a well-known actor through the 80s, very distinctive looking face. Yeah. So Lance has managed to catch him, but not before his partner. His arms are hacked off by Max.
Yeah, this is
gruesome.
Yeah, it's quite gruesome. This bit. This is what is it now? He goes to. It's a flashback, isn't it? Basically, to why he was getting all this PTSD when he captured Max. Wasn't it? He went through a kitchen with bits and bodies in like fryers, and he had a copper who had his head cut off, and he had his on a plate, and he put it out in his own blood, blue
plate special.
Yeah, that's the one, blue plate special.
Yeah.
So his partner goes up, gets his did he get his arms chopped off?
Yeah, had both his arms chopped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could actually see he had his arms around his back though. Did you see that?
Did it?
Yeah. Did you not see that? He just had his arms around his back, and I thought, well, okay then, yeah. And then a little stumps out, but yeah. So he goes through, and then he gets then he corners the killer with a little girl, and then he gets it, and then I thought, this is gonna turn out pretty well, but it didn't turn out at all well, did it?
No, he chops the girl. This girl is about eight years old, and Max chops her head off with a meat cleaver and chucks the head at Lance, who then wakes up in bed with his wife after having a nightmare. But does he wake up? No, because his wife then turns into Max, in the dressing gown and starts to attack him, and he gets a meat cleaver and cuts his chest and then he wakes up again, but he can see blood on his chest area.
Is it real?
Yeah, so he's getting a lot of flashbacks to that moment. So he decides to go to Max's. Just we'll go on. Lance lives with his wife, 2 children, a daughter and son. The son, there's a subplot here where he's conning various businesses into sending him free stuff. The first one, he sends a complaints letter to Nutrifast. Milkshake.
Yeah, it's like a milkshake, isn't it? Yeah.
So he's doing that. His mum threatens to tell his dad. So that's bizarre. His proper 80s as well, and he's got his crop top.
Metallica. He's got a Walkman.
A proper Walkman. Yeah, so it's proper 80s kid. So Lance goes to watch Max be electrocuted with a chair. So they're all in the room, and Max is strapped in there, and he's tells the priest to go fuck himself, and then they flick the switch and it shakes like that, and he thinks oh he's dead, but then he wakes back up again, and he goes crank up the power, and he goes crank up the power because the last one just gave me a hard on. So they crank it up to the max, and then his body starts to shake and melt, and his skin starts to crack. And he gets up and he starts walking towards Lance, and he's on fire, and he goes, I'm going to get you back, and he's all in flames, and he falls flat dead on the floor.
Bloom. Gone.
Yeah, and they take his body to the mortuary where this guy turns up. I don't know. Has he been studying him, or I don't really know.
I think he's been doing
Dr. Tower. Is that no?
He's a psychologist, isn't
he? So something happens, and Max comes out of his body in electric form, and you see this electric thing go to Lance's house. So now Max is now in Lance's house in electric form, but he can materialize into into a body and into different body, change his voice and stuff like that to fool people. So that's how it's set up. So Max is out for revenge, and Lance is this copper who's having these flashbacks, and Max kills people, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he starts his revenge, doesn't he? He's hiding out in the basement.
Yeah,
that's why in his electrical form.
Furnace. Oh, no, he's in the furnace at one point. His furnace plays a massive part.
Yeah.
In it, and Lance thinks he's haunted by. Well, he's haunted by Max, and
I thought all the way through. I thought it was going to be PTSD, and like he was Max going around, but that wasn't the case, was it at all? I completely got it wrong. But he starts off in the basement, and he's got his daughter. His daughter's got his boyfriend around, Ante, down in the basement. Yeah, so he's basically the boyfriend's down in the basement, waiting for the daughter to come back come back down, and basically, is it Maxie? He basically lures him to him by pretending to be the daughter, and then gets out his meat cleaver and starts to hack him. At this point, Max is no longer electric, is he? He is an actual physical form,
real person,
a real actual person.
So at one point during the night, Lance is woken up and he goes down into the basement and has this argument with Max, but the daughter and the son have got up trying to find the boyfriend, and they hear this argument, this one-sided argument, and Lance can be heard saying, "Leave my daughter alone, stay away from my daughter." And he comes running upstairs, finds the kids, and goes, "There's no one down there. There's no, you're wrong. There's no one down there." They're like, "All right, okay." And then so later on in the film, the girl finds the remains of the boyfriend, and they think that Lance has killed the boyfriend.
Oh no, he's been what's it?
So Lance is then taken down to the police station, and he's interrogated by internal affairs. Now this scene was quite funny because the guy from internal affairs, the amount of times he says "fuck," he's off the scale.
Oh, he loves it.
He was basically he was given this one role, and
he's got to take it. He's got to take it, hasn't he?
He's taking it by both hands, and it's just like a tour de force. He just lays into Lance, and it's just one of the funniest bits of the film. This internal, he's just like off the scale, and so it's like 5 minutes of him just telling him he's fucked it up. You fucked me. I'm going to take it up the ass. He just carries on like that.
Get this guy processed.
Yeah, and so they both leave, and then this other guy just comes in, and he's got a hat on, and he says, "Oh yeah, I'm your attorney." But it turns out to be Max in disguise, but not a very good disguise. He's got a hat and glasses, and that's it. And Lance destroys the table. Then the chief detective comes in and he knocks him out, and then Lance escapes, doesn't he? Goes back to the house where he has the what happens then? He what does he do? I can't remember now.
Well, back of the house.
Yeah, what does he do?
Well, he has a fight, doesn't he? He somehow goes back in time, doesn't he?
But he sees his dead son.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
his ears hacked off because he listened to the headphones. I think they're trying to suggest that Max has gone into the headphones as electricity and blown his ears off. But the creepiest part is he finds his daughter in bed, and she's pregnant, and she's lying there with a big stomach, and you can just see Max's head like up against the stomach lining.
That's pretty horrific.
Yeah, so it's a bit dark then, but right, they teased us with this. I think because Lance, who, don't forget, he had this wound from this meat cleaver from his dream, which was a scar. It was on his stomach, and his stomach starts to bleed and it starts to open up. Now, I thought they were going to go down to the aliens route.
Ah, right, yeah.
I thought, no, they can't go down there. No, they're going to have Max coming out of his stomach or something like that. But they never did.
No,
it was a bit disappointing. I thought they were going to recreate the alien scene where the alien comes out of his stomach, but they didn't do it, unfortunately, which would have been good.
But the girl, she's got actually Max inside, hasn't she? And they do this great effect with him actually in her stomach.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Trying to get out. I thought it was quite a good. Little, I thought it was like it was very. It was like Nightmare on Elm Street with Johnny Depp when he had his stomach. What's it? Didn't he? When they were trying to suck him into the bed.
No. Well, the effect was like when Freddy Krueger's in the wall. You can see his face. Come
Yeah, I mean, like John Depp, he was in bed, wasn't it? And then they're trying to suck him down or in or out. I can't remember now. He explodes, doesn't he, or something? Johnny Depp in Nightmare on Elm Street. No, you don't remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So, Lance then starts running around in the cellar, and he ends up back in the place where we first started off in the film.
Yeah, he gets what? Well, basically, they basically tumble down the stairs. He gets knocked out, and then he ends up basically back at the beginning of the film.
Yeah. So he has this big boss battle with Max, who's got his wife with him. So they're having this fight, trying to get his wife back. And I can't remember how he died now.
Max.
Yeah, how did they kill him? Because the doctor who'd helped him, basically, the doctor had said that Max had been shocking himself in his own electric chair.
Yeah.
It's like he's got like a snake bite. He was giving himself little bits of electricity, building his immune system so he wouldn't die from the electric shock.
Yeah.
So he said, "Oh, you've got to shock him to bring him back into the real world in order to kill him." That's how I remember it.
It made no sense whatsoever because he's already there.
Yeah. So they end up in a power plant, don't they?
Just because. Yeah.
Yeah. So they end up in a power plant, and so he starts swinging his. Did he have a meat cleaver?
Yeah, of course he had a meat cleaver. That's his thing, isn't it?
So he swings his meat cleaver and he ends up electrocuting himself in the main supplies. And then does that kill him? I can't remember how he killed. How was he killed? No, was it just a shock?
I think it was just a shock. I'll be honest with you. I think it was just a shock.
Yeah. So he kills him again. So he kills him. So he kills Max.
Done.
And it cuts back to Lance and his wife, the kids back at the home, and the moving house, and obviously they're all laughing and joking. Obviously, it was just a vision Lance had about the daughter and the son, and the final bit is I can't believe they ended with this, but the son has obviously been scamming the company, and this van pulls up, and a guy comes out. What did he have in the van?
It was Uncle Tex, basically hot chili sauce. I think.
Yeah, a lifetime supply. And he goes, yeah.
Those chili beans.
Yeah, sorry for you found. It suggested that he found a body part.
It was a thumb.
A thumb.
Yeah.
in one of his products, and goes, yeah. Sorry about that, but this is a lifetime supply of chili from Uncle Tex.
Random.
Yeah, I thought. Oh, is that it? Is that how it's going to end? There's no comeback. There's no, Max is going to just turn up and make a surprise appearance. But
no,
he doesn't.
No, even the cat's alive.
Oh yeah, Cosmo the cat.
Cosmo the cat.
Was that a callback to Aliens with the ginger cat?
No. The cat in Aliens was called. What was he called?
I can't remember. But yeah, I thought because it was a cat in Aliens and a cat in this, I thought. But no, the cat's alive. So it ends up with that bizarre storyline where the kid scammed a food company, and he's got a lifetime supply of.
It's called Jonesy.
Yeah,
that was a cat from Aliens. That it was called Jonesy.
All right.
Yeah,
Jonesy.
Yeah, Jonesy. The some assaulted amusements that I got from this particular film was it took me out of a film. This particular scene where the main character is on the bed and he's reading a newspaper, isn't he? He's reading a newspaper. It's the Sun.
Yeah.
He's reading the Sun.
Oh yeah, So the Sun is a newspaper over in red top tabloid. Yeah. So the Sun. Yeah, just like why's he in the Sun? I think over there it's the National Enquirer. So it was like perhaps they couldn't use the National Enquirer, so they just used the Sun.
Which is really weird. It's like I was thinking. So was this filmed in England at a certain point? Because like he had the Sun. So that is the actual Sun, and like the headlines on it, they had I wrote it down. Man jabbed with AIDS needle chops off arm. That was one of them. And haunted radio airs 50-year-old program. Yeah, and you know what? I did a deep dive in that. I had a look into the haunted radio 50-year-old program, and no, it didn't come up. I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't find the stories, but I was just wondering. I was going to have a look, see if it was filmed, that particular bit filmed in England, filmed in, because like Aliens was filmed in England, and it wasn't at Pinewood Studios.
Yeah, but this came out in 1989.
But it came out in 1989, but it was when was it filmed though? When it was actually recorded. So I don't know whether he was living in England or for some reason. I don't know why they put it in. I don't know why they put the Sun in. They could have put like another newspaper, but he had the Sun. And back in the day, you couldn't easily get the newspapers out there, could you?
It's not an actual Sun. It's just a magazine with the Sun on. With it.
It's a newspaper though. It was an actual newspaper.
Yeah.
It wasn't a magazine. It was an actual newspaper, but it was just weird how it turned up, and it's like, why is it there? What's the point in put? There's always a reason why there's certain things put into a film, and I don't know why they put that in there. And I thought it took me out of it, and I had to literally stop the movie and have a look at all the headlines.
Yeah. I was a bit shocked when I saw the Sun. It was I had to ponder that for a bit.
Yeah, okay. Well, here we go. So, where were we now? So, Rotten Tomatoes. So here we go. So, right, okay. Now, on the Rotten Tomatoes, well, there's no point kind of really doing this, really. Okay, so, I'm going to do audience first. So, the audience gave The Horror Show 27%. What did the critics give it? Out of 8 critics, how much did they give it?
Lower?
Well, higher or lower than 27%?
Lower.
You are correct. The critics gave it 0%. Absolute flat 0, nothing, nada. It got nothing.
Nothing.
0. He got nothing. Absolutely. He gave 1s and 2s and things like that. Yeah, one critic said dull Elm Street ripoff. Killer.
Good special effects, especially during the dinner scene where they're having a full blown turkey dinner, and the turkey turns into Max with his little head on the turkey. That's quite good. That.
Yeah. Roger Elbert, Chicago Sun-Times, top critic here. I'm sorry if this reads more like a financial analysis than a movie review. You have to think of something during these movies. Right, okay.
What?
He didn't get a great thing. Other things, the guy who played Max Jenkins, Brian James, is it? Brian James? He said that this was his favourite. This was his favourite role ever. It was his favourite role ever.
It's good. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's been in a lot. It's been in Blade Runner, Fifth Element, Another 48 Hours.
Now the so like my other favourite thing is when was it first streamed? When was it first released?
2017.
Oh, bingo! Yeah, October 5th, 2017. Box office gross in the US was
2 points.
Was 1.4 million dollars. Sorry, and that was the box office. Was 1.7.8 million dollars. It doesn't give how much it costs. So I'm going to presume it might be the same, but it just didn't get. It wasn't really that great. So the horror show was released in the United States on April 28th, 1989. It has also been. It was released as House 3 in Europe. So it was in Europe. It was House 3. It was in Europe it was House 3. Yeah. So it was going to be a major franchise, but it didn't kind of turn out that way. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way. So yeah, that's about it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I did have a look at House 4. Well, not look, but it was produced in 1992, so it's slightly out. I did have a quick look, and like I said, it didn't have a proper trailer for it. It had a scene, and it just had a scene of a native Indian, which appeared to be in a cellar, and it looked like he was praying or whatever over a hole, and it just looked bad. So no, I've not looked at House 4. Yet I might have a look, but that was 1992, so it's not in the 80s. That.
So what we're doing now? So what we're doing now? We're going to be doing your little quiz, which I'm going to be doing because I'm going to have to do it. So here we go. I mean, I've even got an actual stinger for it, haven't we? Jingle. We've got a jingle. So here it is. Here's James' little quiz.
The game show that is sweeping the nation. Whose synopsis is it anyway?
Yes, and welcome to my part of the show. Whose synopsis is it anyway? In this part, we are looking at a book called VHS Video Cover Art by Thomas Hodge. He has produced a book that has got video covers from the 80s, and in it we have to guess whose synopsis is it anyway. So in this case, Warren's going to read the title first, and then I've got to guess the synopsis, the storyline, based on that title. If I get that right, I get 3 points. If I don't get it right, he will then give us the tagline, and if I get that right, I'll get 2 points. And then if I still don't get it right, he will then describe the video cover for me, and if I can't get, and if I get it from that, I get 1 point. So, Warren, over to you for the title.
Thanks very much, James. Yeah, so the title of this particular one is called Challenge the Ninja.
Oh, this is a slam dunk, this, isn't it? So 80s tend to have a lot of ninja storylines with it. So Challenge the Ninja. So I would imagine this is a rookie ninja. A guy who's learnt ninja, and he's up against an evil gang of ninjas, and he's out to stop them from. He's out for revenge. because they've done something to his family, so he goes out and wants to get his revenge on ninjas, and they offer him a challenge, and he accepts a challenge, and so that's what it is.
Yeah, well, yeah. You basically got the entire thing. Yeah, yeah. You basically got the. Yeah, I would say you maybe got 3 points there, possibly. Right. Yeah. Well, no, I'm going to say you got it. Basically, that's basically the actual what the outline of the movie is. Yeah. So the tagline is only one man who dares. Only one man who dare challenge the ninja. That's what it basically the actual tagline is. So the actual synopsis is. He basically just got it. Basically, a corrupt ninja gang begins a spree of violence, ending in the almost total massacre of one family. Revenge oozes through every pore of the survivor, Billy. Mark, a police officer, befriends Billy, warning him to leave revenge to the hands of the police. Unknown to Billy, Mark is the master of the ninjas, who knows only a ninja can defeat another ninja. But Billy, stubborn as always, disappears into the forest seeking the art of the ninja for himself. So basically, it's a revenge one.
Oh, right. Cool. What's the tagline?
Well, that was the tagline. The only one man who dares. Oh, right, challenge the ninja.
And what's the art cover?
Well, it's basically it's a ninja with one black clothes and one red clothes over a cityscape with exploding cars and vehicles in the left hand side.
Is it a drawing?
Yeah, it's a drawing. Yeah, it's a drawing, and then it's one of the ninjas has got a samurai, and the other one has got another arrow thing that shoots arrows, a gun that shoots arrows or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's rated 18, and that came out in 1987. The art is unavailable, but it came out. It's an 18 for 18. It came out distributed by Ninja Theatre, so there was an entire thingy of it really. So you got 3 points in there. Bloody hell, that was all right, isn't it? I don't think I've won any at the moment. I think I'm going to be way behind.
My score, so 1, 2, 3. So at the moment, the score is myself 9 and Warren 7. So 9-7 at the moment.
Oh no!
One. But there'll be one. There'll be one next week, and the popular game show. Whose synopsis is it anyway?
The game show that is sweeping the nation.
Sweeping the nation.
Whose synopsis is it anyway?
So yeah, there we go. Whose synopsis is it anyway? So that is our final bit now. Just a social. So where can we get you on the socials?
Well, I'm at WorldCup77 and on Instagram on James Robert Johnson. Big shout out to the Chekhov army out there. Again, we didn't have a Chekhov moment in this film. So sorry about that. Yeah, just drop us a DM, slip into my DMs, and let us know if there's any films out there you want us to review. Or if you want to just tell us what your thoughts are of these movies. Now, this one was on Amazon, wasn't it? Both the. Oh, sorry. You can get them on Amazon, but we got it. You got a free trial, didn't you?
Yeah, you got a free subscriber. A subscribe channel. I think it was an Arrow channel. It's a horror channel, but you get it free for 7 days. So that's what I did. Oh, you can hire it out for £2.
Yeah. So Amazon or that other one. But yeah, it's only £2. Don't waste your money on House 2 Dross.
Yeah, it is not good at all. So yeah, you can contact me at Mr. Beard MCR on the Twitters and Mr. Beard MCR on the old Instagram, and we shall be back next week reviewing another 80s classic movies on Amazon or on the Netflix. We're not too sure. What have you got any ideas of what we're going to do?
No, not too sure at all. But recommendation, Cobra Kai, very 80s feel to it. Even though it's set in present time, it's got very, very 80s feel to it. But yeah, Cobra Kai.
Yeah, that's the Karate Kid one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just very good. I mean, I think we watched about 5 episodes so far, haven't we?
Yeah.
So if you
really good.
If you like the 80s, have a look at that. So it's continuing the story of Karate Kid. All right, we got to go. I'll catch you later.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.